every year, but it really depends on how much the city is, everything, I guess the old saying, everything's possible with time and money.
William, this might be to you. I see the one-year pricing quotation, 5-year lease agreement payment annually is $48,000. Add that with the ongoing cost, so it is the lease part would be $52,506. And I believe one of you said this was the capital outlays portion of the budget, and I see our budget has $88,000 budgeted for capital outlays for 2017 request.
Yes, ma'am, very good. That includes the lease payments for upgrading capital, should you authorize that. And then the second part of that is having dollars available in case we have unexpected PC breakdowns, or we want to accelerate the replacement of PCs to accommodate the new software to get the network more integrated. So that's why there's a little more there than what is recommended in terms of the lease payment.
Okay, so that could be trimmed some.
Could be, but I would not recommend it because you never know what kind of breakage or other kinds of issues would come up. So we're trying to keep pace with the replacement, make sure that we have the capital aspects budgeted, and then have just a little bit left over in case something comes up.
Right, well, because the $52,506, you've got equipment lease is $45,000 and equipment is $40,000, which gives, and plus some change, gives you the $88,000 in the capital outlays for IT.
Right.
Okay, because I'm also seeing professional, $172,000. Is that what these guys
That's what these guys do.
charge us a year?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Well, it's not all of them,
Just us.
but there are other contractual arrangements that we have. Theirs is around 100.
Okay.
So there's other
Okay.
arrangements in there as well.
Okay. Oh, voice over IP on the phones? So does that get rid of all the cable? I used to work in City Hall and there's a lot of cable that hangs around in there.
No, there'll still be plenty of Cat 5 running.
Now, come on, look at give me that stuff.
That's why we're the cable management in here.
Ah, okay.
Well, one of the things that we need to do is probably about 90% of the stuff that's in the wiring closets could be ripped out. But that's a luxury, not a necessity.
Right.
Because most of that cable, most of the old stuff is not even being used anymore.
Right.
And we're concerned about pulling the wrong wire, like they said. Okay, if you pull something, you think that it goes to that, and it goes to something else, then you got a real problem.
Because we've got wiring in there that's been in there since the 50s, so, or earlier.
Southern Bell.
Like lethal weapon, red wire, blue wire.
Not quite that easy. Any other questions? Stephen and Doug, thank you very much. Very thorough
Thank you.
evaluation.
Thank you.
Very thorough
It's
presentation.
a very, very complex subject that we were asked to tackle, and I think these guys have done a great
Yeah,
job.
they've done a
The staff
fantastic job.
is much happier.
Right.
If we're more productive, then we're going to be able to respond to the citizens, and they get their questions answered. So it kind of is a downhill thing, and we're really working hard at it. And I know there are a lot of people frustrated, including me, that we can't go faster, but we're trying to do all that we can with the resources we have and make sure there's a measured, stepped program forward, because one thing has to be done before the other thing can be put in place.
One more thing, I just happened to think of it. Back in the olden days when we had our in-house IT guy, he came to every meeting that we had. Any chance your company would care to show up at our council meetings?
Oh, we do it for other places if you need, so it's up to.
I would say we need,
Yeah. You guys want them here, we'll have them here.
yes.
They charge back.
That way you can give us an update.
Okay.
The, along with the things you're responding to, I know that we've had an email going back and forth to you, me and Charlotte on the internet for the depot, and I know that we have things that we want to do there that are interactive with the internet and stuff, so is that something we can accelerate without a problem?
Yeah, we discussed that at staff meeting today. Doug, do you have any update?
I did not speak with Rob today. I'll have to recheck up to him.
We were tackling police and fire issues today, but you're on the list, Charlotte.
Well, if she's third behind that, that's good.
Yeah.
other questions? All right. Okay, city manager report?
Sir, Mr. Mayor, I have just a few quick items. The T-SPOS process grinds on. We basically have gotten another format change from Fulton County and have responded to the format change. And we believe that that format is now acceptable to them and stays within the parameters provided by council in terms of the tiered responses. And we'll be emailing that list around in the new format tomorrow. We just got it done this afternoon, and we believe, we're waiting on a phone call back from Fulton County saying, you hit the lottery, we're good. So we're very close to wrapping that up. The other thing is that the LCI comp plan study RFP is out. It's on the website. We're going to send it to the Georgia Planning Commission, Planning Association Group, GMA, and it'll also be on the ARC web site as well. So anyone interested in bidding needs to read it carefully and respond accordingly. And I'll be providing council a copy of that tomorrow, again, as we get these things moving. Thank you. And that's it.
Thanks, sir. Departments, recreation, Todd?
Sir, we had two of our baseball teams win championships this past weekend, so we were very excited about that. We have 60 kids enrolled in our Busy Bee summer camp program, and we'll also have some lady kickball teams in this Sunday down at the baseball fields. 2:30 is first game, 5:30 is the last game.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, real quick, another item I think I brought to your attention, and we can take it up in the next meeting, or the council meeting, about the problem we had with the sign code clarifying the need to have temporary signs allowed to
Right.
announce new projects. And we have a recommendation on that, so we'll ask the council to
Under
consider
new
that.
business, we can modify the agenda. We need to see about waiting for first reading level, so we can put this to bed tonight.
Sorry, I overlooked that.
Simple, no problem, thank you. Al?
We had the Main Street Tri-Cities Merchant Mixer at Slideways, and we had a great response from local businesses and those from East Point and College Park. We have 4 new board members on the board that have started their training process. And I just went to the regional managers meeting today to learn a little bit more about what some of the new training entails. And I've been working on a lot of our grants management for South Arts for reporting in the coming year, and then also Fulton County Arts Council and the Caboon grant.
Very good, thank you. Bill Johnston?
Mayor was just.
Yeah, you'll need the mic, Bill. You're soft spoken.
Mayor, I was just reviewing the ordinance that we worked up today concerning temporary signs. This would be to announce new development, for example. And right now, we tie that to issuance of a building permit. We submit down the road. Developers like to get their message out earlier than that. So we're proposing to back it up to site plan approval, so that there's some sort of milestone that has to be reached, that not everyone can all of a sudden have this extra sign. And in terms of the size and height, we're proposing at least a 10-foot maximum height and 1 square foot of sign area for 2 linear feet of frontage. Bearing in mind that some of the sign districts now have a very small limit on the sign area. So if you have a 400-foot frontage property, you'd have a 200 square foot sign, and 200 square foot would be a maximum. So I recommend this be taken to the Planning Commission for their review, and then come back for a public hearing before council.
Okay. Well, so the ordinance being proposed tonight, that's your recommendation?
Yes, it's proposed for discussion tonight. We'd have to go to hearing to adopt anything.
Okay, because it's part of the sign ordinance.
So
It's part of the zoning.
That's correct, okay. Okay, all right.
They could change, but those parameters could change with input from planning commission and public input.
Okay. So there's no relief we can grant tonight?
Well, it's always up to you, but we have our recommendations.
Well, if it's zoning, it's got to
Right.
go through the,
And you all just have to discuss it at the time that you come up under the new business.
all right.
I'm not sure how close this group is to the building permit issue.
David, do you know how close they are to the building permit on East Corner Tavern?
I talked to the architects today, and they're designing the plumbing underground, and so I think they're pretty close.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
All right. They might get the building permit before we get this done.
I would think that they would, would be
Okay.
my guess.
Okay. I just don't want to hold that up anymore than we have to. Okay. All right, anything else, Bill?
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well,
David, fire department?
Yes, we've participated in a couple of events this week. One was yesterday, we participated in the Hapeville Library Summer Reading Program, where the fire department goes down and help educate a lot of the kids that are in some of the summer events that are going on in different ones around the city. And also tomorrow, we're going to be participating in the Delta Reservation Safety Fair. We do that, that's an annual fair they do every year that's for the employees there, and it's a lot of safety education and life and safety education programs.
Very good, thank you. All right. Jennifer?
I don't have anything.
Jim Schuster, our finance manager, continues to be in poor health, so please do keep him in your thoughts. He was unable to be here last night for our budget presentation, and he's still down tonight, so again, just keep him in your thoughts. Lee, community service?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Chief Lifesack?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just wanted to remind everybody we have Safety Hill come up next week, so we're excited about that. And I also wanted to bring back to the table, I mentioned it before, and I gave you a little write-up on it, I think a couple weeks ago, that we're gonna be asking you if you would like for us to proceed with the cop strip this year, and just basically, cop strip. Yes.
Hold on.
The COPS grant this year is actually it would give us the ability to add an additional police officer to our staff with specific intent. It's a grant that's ongoing. There would be a 25% match to that, up to $125,000 over a 3-year period that the Department of Justice would pay. But I can give you more details. Again, I gave you a little synopsis of it in writing a couple weeks ago. But basically, we would have to designate that individual to community effort. Now, there's a series of things that they would allow us to consider, but it would give us, again, an additional staff member with only a 25% match to, that is the salary of the employee as well as the benefits. And again, up to $125,000 total for that. But after that, we would have to give an additional commitment to continue.
Yeah, there's a gotcha on that grant big time.
There is. And again, it's very specific. So it's not, unfortunately, we can't just add a staff member to go out and, police as needed. This individual would have to be, again, assigned specifically to our community efforts. Now, keeping in mind, we do that with all of our staff right now, but this person would have to be designated specifically. So just something to consider. We'll be bringing it back hopefully next council meeting, so that y'all can let us know. We do have a deadline, unfortunately, we're about prepared. We've gotten all our data together, and the application is well underway, if you say yes. But we've got, the 23rd is actually going to be the deadline of this month for us to submit. So just for thought. Thank you.
Chief, also, something we were looking into, which was parking on some of the narrow streets. We have progress on that.
Yes, we do have progress. We've got some data that we are gathering right now. We've done some preliminary street measuring, as well as some data gathering of how many cars travel that area, who would be impacted. So we're trying to do as comprehensive as we can. We are actually going with the first few streets that were mentioned in consideration. And I know that you said you would like to see us do all, which we will, so we will continue to do that. But right now, we are looking at, if my recollection is correct, we've got Birch, I believe Lake, and there was one more that I've got staff tasked with. But I should have something hopefully this week. Maybe I would be able to bring it back to you the following council meeting.
One other thing while we're talking about parking, is there any way on streets where we allow parking, is there any way to designate, and this is a question for you, Destiny, as well, is there any way we can designate legally that parking is for residents and their guests only? Because the Uber and the taxi cab people are beginning to start to infiltrate the neighborhoods. They're doing it right now on Loop Road down in Clayton County at the foot of the Porsche facility. That's Leslie Drive, that's out of our jurisdiction, there's nothing we can do about that. But I've noticed on Virginia Avenue, of course, there's private parking lots there, there's not much we can do about that. But I came home the other day, passing through to pick something up from the house and noticed a van parked beside my house. And then there's no parking signs there, so there's really not much enforcement wise that can be done. But with our proximity to the airport, this is gonna get worse. And Destiny, I think we need to see what we can do to get out in front of it, because we can't just, I mean, if there's a sign that doesn't, if there's no way we can restrict it, there's no way we can just pull up and say, hey, you need to move on. But
I understand. Yeah, and I'll certainly let our attorney weigh in, but it is my understanding that as you can only regulate the times or commercial type traffic specifically.
so we could say no, and that would be considered commercial traffic.
And that's a slippery one because it's in our commercial traffic, in our commercial vehicles, it again is very specific to what is commercial.
Right.
Not necessarily to someone who's being paid to drive. So unless we were able to do something like that.
Bill, you had your hand up.
I'm not
Get a
certain
microphone.
with the last time I visited Virginia Highland, I was asked to move my car on the side street by a citizen with a flashlight. And evidently they have permits for parking. It's worth checking into.
That's a permitted parking only.
Yes.
That could very well be an option.
Well, it's going to be a problem that's going to get worse. And so, Destiny, you dealing with any other municipalities that are facing this?
No, currently, but I'll look.
Thank you.
So is it right of way, is it a sidewalk?
Yeah, no, it would be public streets.
Public streets.
Any public streets. Now, I'm assuming private property owners can have their own parking rules about that.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Well, Rick, when I say all the streets, primarily I'm thinking about those that would hinder the use of a fire truck. I know this is something Laura Murphy brought up years ago, like with Wheeler and Russell. It would have been impossible to get a fire truck down there if you have cars parked across from it. I see that same potential on some of these streets, so I'm not trying to be big brother and tell everybody where to park. I'm looking at a safety issue.
Absolutely, I understand. In fact, we appreciate very much the council, the time reacting to that with Russell and Wheeler, because we had a tough time. And we are very in tune, just to let you know, we're very in tune to the streets that we're able to travel on. So we do keep that in mind always. But I think this is a proven approach to taking a more comprehensive look at our streets, so. like
Plus,
said,
I don't think it's picking on people. If there's a measurement that defines what's allowable, then I think that we're protecting citizens and not trying to bully them. We're trying to help.
Absolutely. Yep, that sounds good. I will bring the report back to you. And like I say, hopefully the next meeting, I will follow up with my lieutenant in the morning and see where we are with that. I have seen some preliminary notes, so it should be well underway right now.
One of my employees that lives on one of those streets, I think it's Russell, she said, maybe I ought to consider moving them to the other side of the street every once in a while, because there's a lot of trash building up in front, under some of the cars. And I thought, well, that's probably what they do in some cities, is you have to park on the other side so they can clean it from time to
Right,
time.
even odd. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, legal, you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. David?
I don't really have anything other than the memo that I sent y'all yesterday, just a monthly update. And so you can see in that, I'm really kind of focusing a lot on trying to get redevelopment going and development of the vacant parcels, because we're kind of in the development cycle, I think, at the top. And and usually it'll slow down from that. So I think you can see from that, I'm just trying to pick out the blighted properties and the vacant and development authority and get as much going as we can. And so everything seems to be moving along with a lot of those. So hopefully we'll have a lot to kind of come to bear towards the end of this year.
I can see where the tanks were removed on what we call the triangle. Are they doing the soil studies next?
Yes, I think they already did it. I talked to the guy who has it under contract who paid for them to be taken out, but he hasn't bought it yet because he wants to see how much contamination it was. What is today, Tuesday? I talked to him Friday or yesterday, and he had not gotten the data back yet. But I got to call him about something else, so hopefully we'll know this week. If it's not just terribly contaminated, then he plans to close on that and do something really great with it. So hopefully that one will come together.
Is there any word on Virginia Crossing and the Flint River that runs under it?
William is the one that's handling that.
William?
It's still there.
Yeah.
No diversion?
We have a sign off from the Army Corps of Engineers, and the project
Right.
continues to move forward, so we are in conversation with them.
All right. Anything else, council? If not, we're running way late and starting our regular meeting, so I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn and take just a short recess before we start our next meeting. So, motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second?
I guess I'll second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We stand adjourned.